Hello, and welcome back to Alicia Gresham's Let's Make It Make Sense, Polk County. So, I normally do not do campaign videos back to back, but there was something said and it needs to be addressed. So, without further ado, I want to again thank you all for tuning in to Let's Vote to Make It Make Sense this November 3rd, 2026. We're all going to vote for Alicia Gresham for Polk County's Board of Commissioners. You must write my name in on the ballot as you see it on your screen because I'm a write-in candidate. It's ELISHAGRESHAM like in Mary, and that's Alicia Gresham. I am Alicia Gresham, and I approve this message and video. So, let's go ahead and get through our disclaimer. Feel free to go ahead and pause your screen and you can read the disclaimer, but we want to make sure we do this for fair use purposes so that there is no legal issues. But jumping right into this here. Now, the Governor DeSantis say candidates who say they can cut grocery prices in half are selling snake oil and are full of it. I mean, did he really say that? I mean, because that's not quite true. He's saying it as if that's an impossible thing. Unless he's saying it because he knows these individuals. But if that's what he's saying it for, then I guess he would have said that. But he said it because that's what he believes that. I guess, I don't know if he really believes that because he's doing it himself. You know, he's doing things to help save money with groceries himself. But things that the states can do to help with the high cost of prices. I'll just list a few here. Actually, it's quite a few. So while states can't control global inflation or national commodity markets, they do hold direct authority over several cost drivers that could help lower or stabilize grocery prices. One is adjusting state-level tax policies. Two is easing local supply chain rules like funding local food supply chains and infrastructure grants, cracking down on unfair corporate pricing practices like price gouging. I mean, everybody knows everybody's doing it, and they all need to be held accountable. We can also target price manipulation by cracking down on anti-competitive behavior, price discrimination, and unfair corporate pricing tactics of major food distributors and supermarkets. Another thing is they can ban dynamic practices by restricting controversial retail tools like surveillance pricing and algorithmic overcharging, and which raises prices on individual shoppers. Now that is a whole nother video in itself. That's something else. Ease local agricultural rules by reforming state meat inspection and food pricing laws, such as supporting state-level equivalents to the PRIME Act. PRIME meaning processing, revival, and intra-state meat exemption to lower barriers for local farms and increase regional competition. Also, not only that, let's see, we have the PRIME Act is a bill that was a prominent piece of bipartisan legislation that was introduced to the United States Congress. The bill is designed to reduce federal regulations on local livestock processing, to give small farms, ranchers, and local slaughterhouses the freedom to succeed. Other things they could do is to enforce antitrust laws, like investigate and blocking anti-competitive mergers among regional food processors, distributors, and large supermarket chains. They can also target anti-collusion measures by restricting digital price-fixing tools and dynamic pricing algorithms that artificially inflate shelf prices. And I know some of you have already experienced that because you're like, wait a minute. This was this price one moment and it was, higher the next moment, and it changed when I got to the cash register. So what's going on there? Go think about that. We can also subsidize local farms to consumers via networks and state-run programs. That can also help lower the cost, or just help people be able to afford to get food from someplace. Lower compliance costs by reducing regulatory and transit hurdles for local commercial trucks and or regional agricultural producers to cut down on shipping overhead. See, these are some things that can be done. This is why I said not necessary are, candidates trying to sell you snake oil, or the candidates are full of it, when they campaign on helping to lower grocery costs and expenses. See, because DeSantis is doing that right now, and the state of Florida is doing that right now. You don't have to pay your sales taxes on groceries, and there is a sales tax free period for back to school time. That all helps that all helps with, the cost of groceries or shopping. Okay, things that we need, back to school things, food, clothing. So that all helps. And even, cutting the sales tax costs, that helps. And that could be what those campaign candidates are campaigning about. Maybe they're not talking about they're going to be able to cut the prices at the stores directly, but they can find another way of doing that. Some of them may be talking about some of the things that we just went over. Some of them may be talking about other things like what DeSantis is doing by easing up someplace else to help you, be able to afford your groceries more comfortably. And I don't have a problem with DeSantis. I always thought he was doing great. He does great with the state of Florida as a governor. But some things you just have to listen to what they're saying, and maybe, hey, he might have to backtrack that, because that's not always so. He might have to look at what he said, because he's also trying to help people save money, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, I don't know if it's something he meant to say, or did he realize what he was saying. I'm sure he meant it, but I don't know if he realized what he was saying, because he does the same thing. He's doing the same thing with helping people, try to save money by, lessening things here, moving this there. It's kind of like you're just shuffling things different places just to help folks. You're going to help people. You're trying to help the county, and you're trying to help the citizens get by. And during this horrible inflation period. And there's a lot of things that can be done, which is part of what my campaign has been campaigning about. Because we campaign about trying to, that we're going to help you save money too. So, and we talk about groceries as well. So I'm not sure what he's saying, but it's not hard to reach across the table and work as a team. The state and the county can work as a team, and even with some of these some of the things I've named that could help, some of them things could, be federal. The federal can help out as well as the state. But we all got to be willing to reach across the table and work with each other as a team. Not you're the state, I'm the county all the time. Sometimes what it is the county, and what is the state. But there are times when the state and county need to come together to help the people. And that's what my campaign is about. And that's what I believe people can do. So his comment, as far as, people, kind of blowing smoke in your ear, really, or just kind of BSing, that's not necessarily so. That may not be the issue. I mean, this here is showing you price differences from inflation, and this only goes up to 2022. So can you imagine 2026? See, he also endorses candidates, or I think he's endorsed candidates, and you got to be careful, because some of them candidates have said the same thing about grocery. So is he saying that those candidates are, selling you snake oil and full of it? I mean, I don't think he would be. I would hate to think that. But sometimes we got to rethink about what we say, and we have to be careful of what we say, because it could be contradictory to what you're currently doing yourself right now, which it is, because he's helping right now, and he can do something more with the pricing, but you have to be on top of it. You have to have a team that's going to play with you and go along with you to help, combat those things like price gouging and all of that, and get on top of those stores and industries, because I'm gonna tell you, the shopping, food industry, and supermarkets, that's a huge industry. I mean, just think how big Walmart is in itself, and that's just one chain. There's many chains of supermarkets and big time stores that hey, they're all over the place, and we have to look at them. They are huge conglomerates. I mean, McDonald's all over the place. I mean, you got, even though it's not a grocery store, I'm just showing you how big the food chain is, the food industry, the grocery industry, the supermarket industry. It's a big, huge, that's a big, pretty chunk of change there. So again, not all candidates are trying to sell you a dream. Some candidates like myself are just simply trying to educate you on the many hidden truths and why you should vote for someone like me. Please note, I do not sell dreams. Let's just vote to make it make sense. Write my name in on the ballot this November 3rd, 2026. Elisha Gresham, as you see it here on the screen, for Polk County Board of Commissioners. And people, please have a blessed and beautiful day.